Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Suman Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state specialist. I'm here to help you feel your best and perform your best. Let's get started today. Today's topic is all around inner child healing. Now, if you're new to this work, definitely start to do your own research before you dive into this video, because this is primarily from the Primal Sutra perspective and what we found through our own spiritual path working, okay? So you might get a very different answer than other videos that you go to. Having said that, let's get started. So first and foremost, you want to understand that, have you built a relationship with a younger part of you, maybe in your inner teens or sometimes even your inner child, okay? The inner teen and the inner child is very, very different, okay? So the inner teen is more so dealing with rebellion, relating with angst, relating to feeling autonomous, right? Feeling like an independent individual, like I'm here on my journey. I can make my own choices and I'm here on my journey, and hopefully others support me along my journey, okay? Inner child healing, however, is more about the love, the care, the compassion. Maybe as a child you had experienced some level of trauma or disrespect or a closing in, right? Just basically a constriction or a restriction that created a holding pattern for you, right? And these holding patterns stayed with you throughout your entire life because you didn't have the actual strategy to actually release them. So it's like an invisible thread of trauma can remain throughout your entire life unless you energetically remove it, get rid of it. Our process, Flomo Sapien, can help you do this. Our Primal Sutra protocol can help you do this. And with proper guided visualizations, you can also do this, okay? So there's many ways and activities that you can actually activate in order to do this inner child ritual. So there's many practical ways that you can actually do this inner child healing, okay? I have a video, a meditation for the inner child. Go and listen to that. Now, the way that video ends is very, very crucial because we use this as a self-love exercise. Now, behind Padmasambhava that you see back there, okay, King Vajra, I have a picture of myself as a child. And this was one of those pivotal kind of highlight moments. I'm like kind of biting my thumb, and I'm like my uncle who's going to America with his wife at the time. And he's like, I'm gonna leave, bro. So you better get into my luggage, or, you know, it was just like a joke. He was saying like, oh, you better get into my luggage or else I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna leave without you, you know? And so I got into this little like knapsack, this little bag, right? Like a grocery bag that you use to carry groceries. And I could fit in there because I was a little kid, right? And maybe I can show you guys, hold on. Okay, so false advertising, it was not the thumb, it was the index finger, okay? So yeah, this is me. And you can't really see that, but I'm inside of a bag, okay? I'm inside of a bag. And man, that's a cute kid, huh? That is a cute kid who's about to change the world and he doesn't even know it. He's about to be a flow state master when he grows up and he doesn't even know it, you know? And so I have this picture there, and what I do is I'll look at the picture and I'll send this picture my love, my compliments, my care, affirmations, different things that make this child feel safe, that make this child feel that he can belong in 2023. And it's a very good idea to collect items that you had when you were a kid, okay? If you used to collect Beyblades, get a Beyblade, okay? If you used to, play with action figures, get an action figure. If you used to play with Barbie dolls, get a Barbie doll, okay? Get different things that used to represent for you in your mind your inner child or your child self, and something that they would appreciate, because their energy is still alive within you and it needs to be understood. Like for me personally, my inner child just wants to be understood, and he can't get there if he's just kind of being super hyper authentic and going into his own world. I have to relate it back to you guys, my audience, and who I'm serving at the end of the day, right? So understand all the things that you might have needed when you were younger. If you place them in an altar, just like how I have my main altar, I have this at the center of my altar because I need that playful energy alive within me. That is the energy that helps me to create. That is the energy that helps me improvise on these videos. As the same energy of the flow that allows me to be a freestyle shaman and allow myself to weave and have that versatility and range with everything that I do, okay? And again, I understand the process of, wow, this task is unfamiliar to me. I feel the sense of fear. But then again, I remind myself that that is not mine. That fear is not for me to claim. I am there to claim my desires. I am there to go for what I want. I'm not there to claim that fear, you see? Irregardless, so you keep a bunch of these things next to this picture and you send it positive affirmations and intentions every day, okay? You will feel it within this space, your heart space, so your heart chakra, which is actually associated with your creativity more than you know, okay? More than you know. Once you start to activate that, you'll notice that you wanting to express yourself again, okay? Maybe you've been stifled or restricted or repressed when you were younger, okay? A teacher told you to shut up, parents didn't value you enough, whatever it was, right? There was some incidences or memories that started to stack in your mind that reminded you that you weren't good enough, that you weren't worthy, that you had to get good grades, only then you will be loved. All these different understandings and beliefs about yourself, right? What if you could retell the story to this version of you? You see? What if you could give that version of you so much love, so much attention, so much care, so much reparenting, you see? Reparenting, I mean, I'm not saying that your parents didn't do a good job, because they did what their level allowed them to do. But I'm saying, maybe it's time as an adult that you start to reparent yourself, okay? And it's not gonna be easy, and it might bring up a wellspring of emotion. You might feel like crying, especially if you've gone through a lot of stuff in the past, right? I understand that. This journey is for the sacred warriors. It's not the beanbag personal development sponge. You're not practicing becoming like a chameleon, okay? You're not practicing becoming like this kind of Play-Doh that can morph into any situation to make others feel better. You're working on your inner world so that you can show up greater, okay? And then have the environment change to your will. It is your will, it is your mind through which you're going to pave the way. And so if your mind is scattered, if your mind is being too rational, too logical about your problems, you need to revitalize yourself with that childlike essence that you used to have, but you lost contact with. So maybe you used to collect baseball cards. What happened to that? Okay, mom said it wasn't cool. You're getting older now. You have to get a job. You have to move cities. And then suddenly you completely left your conscious awareness that you even had this talent or this gift or this hobby, right? This collector's item. And really you want to ask yourself, what did collecting baseball cards mean to you? Because it wasn't about the baseball cards. Maybe it meant that you were learning teamwork because your friends also collected them. Maybe it meant feeling exclusive, like you were part of some club, right? Like you collected baseball clubs and other people didn't. So that made you feel a little bit special, a bit cool, right? You got validated by it. Maybe you collected it because you had a genuine love for the game and the sport, and you wanted to have those specific players be represented through a physical embodiment in your hands in a card that gave you a subconscious reminder that, hey, you know, this is something meaningful to me and my storyline. So we can look at this in a bunch of multifaceted ways, right? Because you are a multidimensional being. I think we covered that in May, right? Or March, was it? So if you want to find that rhythm again, find that mojo again, you have to give that inner child and that inner teen. I'm going to find a picture of me in my teens as well and print it out, okay? That's my next step in my evolution of this. I'm constantly refining myself and bettering myself because not from a place of like lack, you get what I mean? Like a lot of people are like going to the gym thinking that, oh, if I go, then I'll be better. People will finally like me. It's still coming from a lack. What about, hey, I'm going to the gym to better myself, to improve upon this masterpiece that is my life. Yeah, this modern day Shakespeare is out here telling you to live your own movie, but it might be kind of shitty to see your parents yell at you every day, and you getting caught up in work drama, and maybe you're just sick and tired of your local community, and you're just like, nobody really gets me or understands me. I understand all of these concerns, okay? But understand what is underneath that complaint. Okay, level with me here. What is underneath that complaint? Maybe your complaint is, I don't have enough friends. What would your inner child say that is underneath that complaint? I understood this the other week. Do you guys know who libertines are? Libertines were people who were rich enough to be unworried by the chains of society. It's interesting that the libertine also used to be associated with pirates. Now, some people think a libertine is just someone who's immoral. So I think it's not a complete disregard of morality. I think it's just the beingness of feeling unencumbered or unburdened by morals or what the society expects of you. Because, hey, I'll be honest, man, I'm in that liminal space. I'm not sinful enough to go to hell, and I'm too sinful for heaven. And this is something that I got from Danu, who is like the mother of all fairy races, okay? But that's besides the point. I've realized I've been playing it a little bit safe, okay? And I asked myself this question the other day. What would I be doing to feel the most alive? And the answer is straightforward to me. But then the question becomes, why am I not doing that? And that's the thing. Our mind loves to come up with these rationalization, justifications, assumptions, excuses, paranoia, all this stuff to distract us from what is true to ourselves. So ultimately, I understand that, yes, I'm complaining I don't have enough clients. Okay? Whatever it is. Everyone has some complaint in their business, okay? I have a lot of clients, by the way. I don't know why I'm complaining about this. But regardless, I'm like, I need more, right? It's like that trap. So I'm like, maybe I don't have the type of clients that fill me with life and joy to the level that I want it yet. And what is that level? What is that superficial level or that level that I'm creating in my mind? It's kind of a fantasy, right? And I understand, like, okay, what is underneath that complaint? And then I started to ask myself, what does my inner child answer? From, what are you complaining about, little guy, you know? And he's going, I just want to be understood, bro. I just feel misunderstood, you know? And a lot of artists, creatives, right, spiritual people, indigo children, stars, all of them feel like this, right? So I just want to be understood, bro. And you know what I realized? In order for me to feel understood, and a lot of you guys acknowledge this and validate this, right? You guys are like, man, I totally get you. You're keeping it real, right? A lot of the comments here. And it's like, it takes a special level of individual to even perceive or understand some of these teachings, you know? So to the people who are actually spending the time decoding this alongside me, I want to thank you guys, man, from the bottom of my heart, because the only way that I'm going to feel more understood is by understanding others. And it's funny because that's what I continue to do every single day. I understand others more. I understand what led them to that precipice or that point where they maybe sabotaged their lives, or they got to this point where maybe they, you know, trusted somebody that they shouldn't have trusted, or, you know, there's so many of these different instances and occurrences. And all we can do is, you know, really bring our compassion towards that, because what if that had been us in that situation? What if that had been us? Okay, we would feel broken. So they probably feel broken right now. Think about it, okay? And they're yelling at you. They're coming from this hurt because they're so hurt themselves and they have no one to yell it to. The transference of pain is something that happens. Someone feels this deep pain and they express it onto someone else, and then they latch onto their pain. It's the pain body, okay? This is how it works. So you have this little bit of pain. Now, if that other person resonates with that level of pain then as yours, you actually start to communicate on a different shadow level, okay? It's almost like you're communicating through a purgatory level with the other person, okay? You have an abandonment wound, they have an abandonment wound, yeah? And you're in a relationship with each other, but then your shadows are playing at times when you're arguing and things like that. And so what you want to do is just kind of distance yourself from that and be like, whoa, that's not me, that's my shadow. okay? And take some time, you know, get mindful again, and then continue the interaction from a calm, clear, open consciousness, a presence where you can both actually communicate with each other, right? Hey, I'll be honest, in this day and age, it's very easy to get into an escape mentality of just like, take all the stress away from me. I just want to do this one thing, right? And we can end up overdoing it. But also, it is the road to excess, which is the flow state burnout, that leads to the palace of wisdom, the integration phase, where you actually finally reflect on that burnout and you go, I get it. I was pushing too hard, okay? And that little adjustment actually needs to be made, because then you understand your limit and you know how to take care of yourself better, because you understand your threshold, right? If you've never explored your threshold of pain, a little bit of pain can throw you off course, right? And so actually we have to work on becoming stronger, physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. But I don't know you guys, okay? Are you guys open to being coachable, to learning some esoteric practices? What do you guys want to see more of on this channel? I understand that relationships is a big topic and masculinity is a big topic. A phone is a thing from the future. If you brought it into the past, right? They'd be like, whoa, this is some alien technology. What does it do even? Probably useless, right? They don't have the context to even understand what an iPhone is. And so they would think of it like some kind of alien technology. And I think about this, you know, I am probably from the future in this timeline now, sharing some kind of strange alien intergalactic technology with you guys in terms of this Primal Sutra stuff, you know? But I've got to also speak to people at their level, right? Honestly, that's a work in progress right now. But there's a deep core feeling that I've got to express certain things in a certain way. And I think it's just the Holy Spirit or something, you know, just speaking through me. I don't know at this point, okay? I can't tell, but, you know, I'm changing, okay? So, yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, what did you guys want on this channel and you wanted to see more of? Because then I will actually know how I can fine-tune this thing, make this thing more customizable, more personable for you guys, okay? Thinking of making more guided meditation, sound file stuff. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. Subliminals, maybe anything to help, you know, the community. So I know Golden Shadow is a big theme for a lot of you. You know, that's why we're hosting the retreat in Costa Rica. And if you're interested in that, shoot me a message, okay? As soon as you watch this video, as you get the calling inside, you're like, let's do it, okay? Then you'll know it's for you, okay? You'll know it's for you. You'll know it's for you. It's just gonna be a calling. It's gonna be an automatic, yep, I'm going. I don't even care, right? It is that. That is the call. That is the intuition. That is the call from the wilderness. This call from, you know, Mama Gaia or whatever. When I first started this process, I was very skeptical, okay, about all the mysticism, all the deities, all that stuff. I was going in blindfolded, even though I had years and years of like esoterica knowledge and stuff in the background. But it wasn't up until I started practicing as a shaman that I started to get the gifts that started to stack, okay? If I had given myself permission at an earlier phase, I would have gone way further along in this journey, okay? So you've got to give yourself permission. And one of those key ingredients is down to your inner child. Your inner child might be wanting some amazing boyhood dream, you know, or some girly dream that you once had. That is feeling unfulfilled, and so you're left unfulfilled. I know for a lot of men, it's like, hey, I wasn't that much of a ladies' man in high school, right? Maybe I want to start dating again, start exploring, right? Start testing the waters, man. You have this animal inside of you and this sacred being inside of you, and that is what we call the priest beast, okay? The discipline that it takes and the surrender that it takes to create this flow state archetype. And some people on this channel get it, okay? Also the women, they get it. The priestess beast, same thing, okay? The dark feminine is the beast. The light feminine is the priestess, okay? Same idea. And once you come into contact with this inner child, once you speak to them in such a way, in a kind, compassionate, loving, fatherly way if you're a man, motherly if you are a woman, okay? In that way, in that frame, to reparent yourself through these affirmations, you might feel a bit of a constriction in them arguing with you, especially the inner teen, okay? I know when I've had inner conversations with my inner teen, he's just been like, hey, fuck you, man. Or he'd just respond with a meme right in my mind or something. Like he wouldn't even have full formed fledged sentences. He would just be like, oh, or something like that, right? And I just have to like integrate that on the spot. Like, okay, I guess. I mean, right now, me as an adult, right, I have a different framework of speaking and like interacting with others and changing my language and, you know, vocal patterns that I've noticed and all the work and study that I've done. And then I go to my inner teen and he's just like, hamana, you know? And I'm like, chill, bro. You don't have to be so horny all the time. Chill. But I mean, I still have a high sex drive to this day. I mean, that hasn't gone down at all in any way, okay? It's just been there. It's just been in the background, maybe. And as I'm raising my testosterone, obviously it's coming back, right? Yeah, that Prakriti, that Shakti energy, you know what I mean? That feminine essence of that, just the energetics, right? Of being wired in, of feeling alive, of enjoying your life with that motherly, that Holy Spirit, you know, energy, a Holy Ghost. And really allowing it to emanate, right? Emanate along your beingness. Emanate like the forefathers that once belonged to this land, and it started to infiltrate into the deep recesses of our subconscious beingness. And we became the foreign intergalactic interweavers of the shamanic interwebs as we started to engage with the world in such a flow state paradigm that everything became little increments, little shackles to us, because we were much greater and much grander than the boundaries and the labels placed upon us by the external world. So instead, we decided to go into the internal world and become the pioneers, the shape-shifting shamans that allowed ourselves to become the most purposeful ones, to unite Earth, the global unity, the global chassis, the axis which we must all pivot from towards a greater awakening, towards a grand scheme of things, without it being schematic in the sense of having a plot in mind, because the plot always changes and the plot thickens and rearranges every moment and every millisecond. Therefore, we must be conscious of our choices and our thoughts and our words and our actions as we decide to be disciplined as disciples of the Primal Sutra path. Amen. Om Shanti. Shalom. So be it. Amen. Okay? That was just a weird channel transmission. I don't know where that came from, okay? But these things happen more on the regular, okay? Anyway, hit that subscribe button. May we never be the same again. We're all gonna make it. Us.